It's time to bring you yet another amazing episode. And now, welcome your host.
Want to grow your business and take it to the next level? Well, here we all are, and we're going to show you how through hard work, perseverance, and a little help and know-how, you can take things to the next level and push the success of your business even further. Let's get going.
Good to have you on Live Knowledge by Omobola Stephen. This is your host, Omobola Stephen. On Live Knowledge, we like to share disruptive mindset conversation with experts and professionals who are added to the topics. We've come to realize the importance of embracing personal development and self-improvement in our life in order for us to transform from where we are to where we need to be. Now, this is the mission and the focus of Live Knowledge by Omobola Stephen. We share disruptive mindset conversations that are very transformative and also inspirational. Today, we'll also be talking about personal development, but now we'll be moving into the business side of personal development and self-improvement. I have Donna Dube, who is a business growth strategist, and also she's a podcast host of the Amplify podcast. Good to have you on the show and to learn that you're also a podcaster like I do. Thanks once again, Donna. Happy to have you on the show.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
Thank you once again. So we'll be talking about how to stop working in your business so you can grow faster. Now, I know my audience are really excited to learn of what you want to share on the show with them. So let's dive in. So the first question is, how is it really possible to attain this?
Yes, it seems like a dream some days, right? I totally understand that and I get that. So I started my business about 5 years ago. And, like many of us, I was a solopreneur at the beginning and doing all the things. So while I was CEO, I was more chief everything officer than chief executive officer. And so as a solopreneur, you end up doing all the things. But as your business starts to grow, you have to be able to take a step back and say, I need to be the person, I need to be the business leader in charge of vision and strategy. And I need to be setting time aside in my week to be able to do that and not get stuck in the day-to-day tasks. And so I like to use the phrase work on my business rather than in my business. In my business means I'm doing the day-to-day things, the things that need to get done to move the business forward. Working on my business is when I put on my CEO hat and say, what CEO level tasks do I need to do this week to be able to reach my goals? And so when we think about that, putting out the fires, doing the admin work, making images in Canva, updating a landing page, all those things are what I call maintenance tasks. They're things that need to get done for sure, but question whether they need to get done by you as business leader. The growth level task is where you should be spending your most time as business leader. So things like partnerships, networking, teaching in someone else's mastermind, teaching for your own content, right? Setting up those higher level tasks that you're not going to delegate to someone else. Guest podcasting, what we're doing right now, as an example, right? Even hosting your own podcast. Those are things you're not going to delegate to a team member or to software. That's something that you as business leader need to do. And so really looking at your business from a high level and saying, what tasks do I need to do this week so I can move myself closer to my goals and stay out of the day-to-day in the weeds.
All right, that's really got you started. Now, Donna, so if we are not working, so what should we be concentrating on?
Yes. So I like to institute what I call a CEO Power Hour. And so this is 1 hour, one time every week. And it's the same time every week. So whether you do it on a Monday morning or a Sunday afternoon or a Friday afternoon, doesn't matter the time. but it's got to be the same time each and every week so that your brain gets used to that pattern. And that 1 hour is non-negotiable, meaning that it doesn't get moved for any reason except some, life crisis that happens, right? Treat it as a very important call for yourself. And what you're doing during this power hour is really reviewing, reflecting, and setting up your top 3 priorities for the next week. So you're reviewing, where am I right now in my business? Yes, you're looking at revenue, but you're also looking at a couple of other metrics to see, are the strategies and the tactics that I'm using, are they working for my business right now? So you want to be measuring those things. If they're not working or you're not seeing the results you want, well, now is the time you can review and reflect and say, how can I make tweaks and changes? What can I do to, change the outcome of this? And so just as an example, I was working with a client who had instituted her power hour, and she was noticing that she was about the 3rd or 2nd week into the month, and her revenue was down for that month. And she didn't have any planned sales left for that month. So she was looking, okay, what can I do? And so we brainstormed a little bit. Well, she could do a flash sale. She could do a reach out to, a few leads that she had that were hot and interested in what she had, but hadn't actually made the purchase. And so by taking that time to actually review where she was in the month and then institute some strategies, she was able to increase her revenue to the goal that she wanted for the month, right? Without looking at that, we would have just blindly went on for another 3 or 4 months and then maybe looked at our revenue. And by then, as we know, revenue is lagging. It's after the fact. And so we can't change those results after the fact. So really just keeping on track of that each and every week is really, really helpful. And then looking at, where are my goals and what priorities do I need to do this week in order to get one step closer to reaching my goals? What's the next step I need to take? And then setting aside time in our calendar and blocking that off so we actually have time to do it. Because if you're anything like me, if it's not in your calendar, it's probably not happening.
Oh, that's some tough work you've got here, Donna. But what the effort at the end of the day? So let's move to still talking about how our business can grow faster. You first highlighted about the power of delegation. Now, in delegating and finding the right talent to fill important spaces, right, in the organization and business, we know it's very crucial to resources. So what are the strategies as an expert in this area? What are the strategies or some important strategies that business owners can employ to identify and attract the right people?
Yes. So hiring is really a process. It's not a one and done deal. And it really starts with you as business leader being crystal clear on your mission and your vision and the values of your business, because it is so much easier to hire someone who's aligned with your values than someone who's not. When they're not aligned, there's going to be friction. You can teach someone to use the software tools you use, to do the images the way you want, to send out emails the way you want, but you can't teach values. So utmost important is to know your values and be crystal clear about that at the very beginning. And then from there, you're going to want to do a little bit of a time audit. So what am I spending my time on as business leader each and every week that I don't necessarily enjoy, that's not in my wheelhouse, and that I could probably pay someone less to do? Because remember, the time you're doing, if that's your billable hourly rate, that's going to be probably more than if you hire someone to do it, right? So identifying those tasks, which you could then delegate to a team member, grouping those together and saying, okay, what kind of role would this be now that you know what the responsibilities would be? And then we make the job description. And in the job description, we want to make sure we're stating what our values are right up front, so that those candidates who are seeing our job description can start aligning. They can start seeing if that's going to resonate with them or not. And as much as we want to, attract the people that we resonate, we also want to repel those that don't align with us. So having those values in the job description is a big help in that.
Right, it's a big help. Now, really for those who are already starting out business, like I'm talking about new business owners, this could be very challenging, don't you think so? Because you haven't really raised enough capital for your business. You're still looking forward to getting more leads into the organization. So you can't be thinking about, sourcing for people who can assist you in your job or delegating. So what will you say to this?
Mhm. Well, I think there's a couple edges to this. Remember, you don't need a full-time employee. So you can hire someone who's a contractor to come in for 5 hours a week, 2 hours a week, right? To help take something off of your plate. And that now gives you 5 hours or 2 hours a week, whatever the time was, to be more intentional with your time, right? To be going after getting more leads, to be growing the business, to be doing those partnerships. And so yes, budget has to be there for sure, but you can hire someone on a very part-time basis to start with, to start taking some of those tasks off your plate.
Right. So what are some of the practical steps that we can take to create a weekly roadmap that can align with our long-term goals?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So first up, obviously, is that CEO Power Hour that I spoke about. Really, really important to set your week up for success. The next thing is looking at your calendar and building what I call a scheduling ninja. So a calendar that's going to work for you, not against you. So when we're building our ideal calendar, we want to put the things that are most important to us, things in our life and our family, in there as well. Because if we don't, what ends up happening is we do business first and life second. And it kind of fits in sometimes when it can around our business. And I certainly believe in life first and business second. So just blocking off those times that are really important to you. If you have kids and you drop them off at school in the morning, block off that time so that that's my sacred time with my kids. If you have dinner or you have a spouse and you like to do a dinner date once a month or whatever that looks like for you, making sure you're blocking off those important times with family so that they don't get forgotten. And then after that, we're going to block off times when our business is open. Now, that sounds kind of funny when we're in the online world because we don't have a store that's open and closed, but you really want to set those boundaries of when you're going to be at your laptop and when you're going to be working. It's helpful for you, it's helpful for your clients, and also for anyone that you hire or if you have a team already. So they know when those times are when they can reach you. And then within that, you're going to want to map out a few times when you're going to do those top priorities in your week. So for example, if you are responsible as business leader for marketing strategy, then you're going to have some time blocked off when you're going to deal with and sort out your marketing strategy. If you're responsible for, writing content or writing emails, then that's something you're going to have some time blocked off for. If you're responsible for being on the podcast and doing the episodes, you need time blocked off for that, right? And so just blocking off certain bits of time when I need to do these important things. It's really your three systems: marketing, sales, and delivery, right? Client delivery. And so you need time in your week to do those three systems. I'm not a believer that every hour needs to be blocked off. Definitely not, because that would drive most of us insane. So having white space is just as important as having those times blocked off. But really knowing when you go into your week, okay, Tuesday morning is my time when I'm creating new content. Thursday afternoon, I'm going to work on this, right? So just having those big buckets so you know what your goals are.
Thanks, Donna Dube, for sharing your thought with us. You just pretty answered another question I'd like to ask from you, but just a close one. Now, talking about the women folks out there who are business executives who have demanding careers up there. Now they have to, create a weekly roadmap, right, that aligns with long-term goals. Don't you think it's really overwhelming and challenging? Now you have to block a calendar for your family, even for yourself. What other time do they have left for themselves?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's exactly it. We don't take the time left for ourselves. We put that time in our calendar first, right? So if we want an hour, half an hour of quiet time in the morning, we put that time in our calendar. so that it happens and it's routine. We're not looking after the fact, after a busy day and going, oh, I don't have 20 minutes for myself, right? We want to put that in there first so that we can fill our cup up and be able then to serve others.
Right, that's very intentional. Thank you for that once again. So what if the company is growing very fast or too fast? Is there a problem with that?
Yeah. So this happens frequently to us as entrepreneurs, because what happens is when we're starting our business, we're focusing on the marketing, right? On being visible, on getting leads. And when that engine starts to run for us, people are coming in, people are purchasing. Part of the problem is we haven't built the foundations behind the scenes. So we haven't built those systems and processes to be able to handle the volume of people that are coming in and wanting to work with us. So many businesses find they grow to a point and then they get stagnant because they have to work on those back end, the operations side of our business, building that system, building that process so that when people find our world, it's easy, it's natural, it's automated, and they're rolling through the funnel without a lot of intervention on our side. So taking that step back, I like to say sometimes we have to slow down to speed up, right? And so slowing down and building those foundations, making sure we have a strategy for marketing, a strategy for sales and client delivery, and that those systems are rinse and repeat in our business. Then we can handle the bigger volumes coming in.
Donna Dube, do you have any exciting news or any projects in the pipeline you'd like to share?
Yes, thank you. So I do. I'm opening up some time in my calendar for what I call ops in your pocket strategy sessions. And so these are 90-minute sessions, one-on-one, where I really help the business owner. What's the bottleneck? What's the sticking point? What's the stuck point? And how can we work through that? And so at the end of the 90 minutes, they walk away with a 90-day plan of what next steps they need to take to be able to get over that bottleneck or that sticking point.
I wish you best of luck in that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Do you have any parting words you'd like to share?
No, I think that, really it's about being intentional with our time. I know there's a quote by James Clear that says, basically, we all have the same amount of time in the day and we think we don't have enough time, but the myth really is what we're putting our time towards, right? And so really being purposeful and intentional with our time as business leader really makes a huge difference.
Right, absolutely. Thanks for sharing that with my audience. We'd like to have your social media handles and also your website, if any.
Yes, for sure. So my website is ceoamplify.ca, and you can certainly find a downloadable CEO Power Hour playbook there, which will just walk you through that Power Hour if that's something that resonated with you as I was talking about it today. So you're welcome to download that. And I'm also on Facebook and LinkedIn as well.
My audience really appreciate your thoughts, Donna Dube, your business growth strategist, and also the host of the Amplify podcast. Now, you talk about how we can stop working our business so we can grow faster. Such a really transformative and enlightening show that we had. I wish you best of luck once again in all the projects that you're embarked upon, Donna.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Right. It's been a well by Omobola Stephen. If you'd like to catch up with any missed episodes of the show, you can catch up on any cross-promotion platforms or any distribution platforms that you're bumping to online. Just search for by Omobola Stephen and do have an amazing time as you listen to expert and professionals share disruptive yet constructive mindship conversations on topics or subjects on the personal development and self-improvement. I need you to stay safe always. I talk to you soon.
If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you subscribe and leave us a review.